exit made this.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it kosher. As if they make the wrong move it kosher. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo sabi. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, chemo sabi. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army. Going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. So they like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, Kimo Sabe got this bitch off the hand. Got this juice, got this drip. About to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it kosher. As if they make the wrong move it kosher. You see me, they like, ooh, Kimo Sabe. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit.
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settling? See, you locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside where soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drums, black and yellow Air Ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we something authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoking, so we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it kosher. As if they make the wrong move it kosher. You see me, they like, ooh, Kimo Sabe. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit.
Where's he going with this shit?
Oh no, you belong to somebody new.
'Cause tonight you belong to me. I'm from One West headquarters. Follow my captain's orders. Live in the land of pain and torture. No straw, but they want their mortar. Tell Trump, fuck borders. P.S. prepare for slaughter. Never take their sons and daughters. Never give them alls in return. Niggas never wanna learn. Till they laying in the urn. Babylon, Babylon, Babylon. You gots to burn. Even if I gotta go with it. So fuck it, is you with it? Niggas never feel froggy, they just wanna rid it. If I see a bad bitch, then I gotta rid it. Your lip looking like the Red Sea when I split it. Tell me why that flow so vicious. Every time he switches, beat a nigga ass like mama did with switches. You niggas looking real, real gay. Where are the bitches? I mean, where are the sisters? Better stay away from witches. That's a brouhaha. Love me as she brew, yeah. White people, he brew now. If you didn't know, then you do now. You belong to me. Yeah. Alright. This nigga's bonkers. From the same city as the Knickerbockers. Name ring bells from here to Yonkers. Or Nicaragua. You niggas too thirsty, you need some agua. I ain't talking Fina. When they kill my dog, I ain't hear shit from Peter. These niggas talk Kent, but they really mean FEMA. Captain cut his eye, got more stripes than Adidas. If you ain't a bad bitch, then get the fuck off my penis. 1-2 step with a meat tree drip. Keep my circle tighter than my meat tree is. If I don't fuck with you, you a piece of shit. When I dip, you dip, we dip, we dip. That's the type of shit that I sing to my bitch. No 6ix9ine, we don't sing no snitch. Gotta love that bass. Social distance, I love my space. Tell Karen, get the fuck out my face. We ain't never switching up on our race. You belong to me. It's you, baby. One more time. Gotta love that bass. Social distance, I love my space. Tell Karen, get the fuck out my face. We ain't never switching up on our race. Cause you belong to me. One more time for the ladies in the back, hey.
One West. Yeah. I'ma do it when you afraid to do it. I'ma say what you ain't gon' say. I'ma tell you what you need to hear. This life, they got us fucked up, man. Real fucked up. Look. Feel me one time. Look. Yo. I know struggle, I know pain. I know my people strung off with the dope to cope with the long days. I know this place called America. I know this place where they deal with us like homeland terrorists. I know this place got us fucked up. I know this place got us positioned so we never try to stand up. I know this place wanna see me sleep. And when it come to my people, they love to see a black man weak. But it's survival of the fittest. And when it comes to the Lord, best believe we gon' get it. Rise Israel, rise. Fuck the devil for his lies. Fuck the devil for his lies. Rise Israel, rise. Fuck the devil for his lies. Fuck the devil for his lives. Rise Israel, rise. Rise Israel, rise. Yeah, look, this ain't no place you wanna be, where you can surrender from a flea and still be dead in the streets. This white man, he play for keeps. And when it comes to his love, you should never wanna see. I want war, fuck peace. I want war, fuck peace. I want them dead in the streets. I want war, fuck peace. I want them dead in the streets. I want them dead in the streets. Yeah, so prepare them troops, because my king come through, he gon' show you what it do. Death to all you other nations. You had a hand in the equation for this hell I be facing. See, man, y'all think it's a game when we bring it to you like this, man. I gotta give you the truth. When they lie to you, you love the lies cause it tastes sweet. But it's truth bitter, and it hits you straight in the core, man. But you need it. One West shit. Now, I got the pleasure to introduce you to that Philly barbarian. Hey yo, Salakia cat, you had something to say?
Rise Israel. All this pain and it's hard to cope. Your situation stay the same, so it's hard to hope. You say you tired of moving cane, now they call you broke. There's new rules to the game, you ain't hardly know. So, that's why you gotta play it smarter. I'd rather die on my feet as a man than a martyr. That's just a lesson for my daughters. Just know they father gave his life just to build you a fortress, so you would always be protected. Just know you living in a world where you gon' feel neglected. I tell you while you young, just so you'll expect it. And when that fake love come, you can reject it. But this is hectic, give me one more second. I just hope you make the same choices and never reckless. I don't want you losing your innocence prematurely. For you, I'll be judge, executioner, and the jury. And just know you worth all the diamonds and all the jewelry. Every single ruby, and never shine way that you be. That's why if they wanna hurt you, they gotta go through me. And even even if I can't be by your side physically. I just want my baby girls to rise out this misery. That's why I be working and despise every enemy, cause they wanna separate our bond and our memory. So I fight for victory, and I fight for pain, and I fight so you don't have to ever do the same, until I rise again.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever since it's a Covid19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. Warm to the vaccine when the pot clean. Separation need vaccine. We say vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Warm to the vaccine for the crack fiend. Warm to the vaccine for the vaccine. They afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fold up like napkin. We need a vaccine at the ghetto car. Our struggles are no similes and no metaphor. If we ghetto youth dream, if we get a car, buy a house, try make it out, no get so far. Nuff no live so long, we get vaccine. Ghetto people no want to no vaccine. If it's not a vaccine, for we start cream and can live a better life and stop dream. For the youth them way in a jailhouse, we still no get charged, can't get no bail out. We say vaccine, what for make no see road quarantine. Cause we want to do that woman. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. One to the vaccine for the crack fiend. One to the vaccine for the vaccine. We afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fold up like napkin. We need a vaccine for real, cause some evil people them be will lead us. Foot power next time for you no ease off. Me no trust Babylon, we need a vaccine. For them stop, deceive the poor and every workplace start. Give people more vaccine, me not lie, we need the cure. For police stop, kick in we door. We need a vaccine for bust the aisle mill. Fi cut the piping, look how long I'll price drop, but JPS I give we some fuck we like Billy Walla who no fi go hey yeah 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 yeah. U.P.K got the vaccine. Mr. General Yan have the vaccine. General my man have the vaccine. Big Captain Mashak got the vaccine. Hey, Nayatap got the vaccine. Hey, Abada one got the vaccine. Hey, Akaya got the vaccine. Bakawar got the vaccine. Hey. Ever since it's a Covid19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. One to the vaccine when the pot clean. Separation need vaccine. Me say vaccine. Vaccine.
Yeah. What's going on? ISUPK.com. We up in the building. It's so good to be with you, man, on a Saturday night, coming to the fourth quarter this year. about to close out this year in a short period of time, according to Esau calendar, of course. Got some heavy hitters in the building, all the way from Louisiana to California to London to DC to Philly. Okay, all the hitters in the building. Now y'all gotta call the rank out. I know I got a Cahan from y'all, Captain Cahan. Is Cahan first or is Mashak first? Salakia. Big shout out to Mashak Mayan all the way out in London in the building. Okay. With Captain Parashia also running shotgun with him. You understand? And Captain is that Aratazar? Karatazar over there on the other side of you? Who's that on the other side of you, Mashak? Yeah, I think you on mute, Mashak. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
You still sound on mute.
Yeah.
So whoever's saying yeah is coming through. Is that somebody else?
That Captain I.S.U.P.K, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you still on mute, Cap.
We see the mute symbol on you too.
What about now?
Yeah, there you go.
That's Karat there next door. So.
That is Karat. That's Karat. You're on the right of you.
He operates in the computer on this side, so he's gonna take it over.
Okay. What's up, Warrior? How you feeling, man? Yeah, was a guitar. You know, man. What's going on, Parashia, man? Doing it up, Cap. Big time. Yeah. What? Yeah. Hey, what time is it over there in London?
At 2 a.m., sir.
2 a.m. Okay, I see y'all got the yawns on a little bit. We bring it all into sleep time. Who else we got up in this building, man, ready to get this on, man, and break this down? Who else is in here with us?
Captain I.S.U.P.K.
Big shout out to Captain I.S.U.P.K. Okay, now where you at? You down in North Carolina right now, right?
Yeah, come on, concert.
Hold it down in North Carolina. Let me tell you something. I love this right here. I love this spread right here. And we're going to get into it tonight. Big shout out to Captain I.S.U.P.K. in the bill. Who else in here right quick? Let's get it on. There you go. Captain Cahan, y'all. Bad boy out there. Hey, Cahan. I expected you to come in tonight on a boat. Louisiana flood. I expected to see you on the bayou or something with the paddle boat, breaking it down. I heard the Mosai put the Jalapeno on Esau down there. I heard they had to snatch. They had to get 200 Edomites out of a warehouse. The people, they said the nursing home took the elderly and put them up in a warehouse, and they had to go rescue them. Go ahead, Khan Salagi.
No, it was one nursing home they moved them out of. They came back and they still died. So it was like some final destination stuff. Like the Bible say, the blood gonna pursue you.
God.
You understand? So it's they didn't want to shut down because of the COVID. Now the Lord shut them down for good. So
yeah, right.
We're
gonna get into it tonight. Who else in the building with us tonight, man? We spreading across the globe on this. There you go. Badass I.S.U.P.K. Big up Cat Master in the building. Out of DC. Who you got on the left and the right of you over there? Look like two roughnecks over there right there. Kazak Ahmad in the building. What's up, Warrior? You understand? Yeah. Arawaja, man. The man with many lives. Arawaja. Good to see you. How you feeling, man?
I'm too up, sir.
Maintaining. That was a guitar. That's what's up, Arawaja. Looking good, brother. All right, who else is in the building with us? Oh, y'all went all the way to Cali on me. What's going on?
You don't know the one about Gen.YAHANNA. He representing California.
Damn right, California in the building. You sound, how you sound? You sound all right?
How am I sounding, sir? How am I sounding? Let me know. Am I good?
Mashak, how's he sound to you? He sound a little fuzzy to me. Is it just me?
he coming.
How am I sounding?
A little underwater sounding to me, but I don't know if it's just me. Is it me, Mashak?
Let me
I can hear him a little bit, sir.
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear him. He just ain't sounding so crisp. I don't know if it's Let me just try to put everybody back in again, sir. Real quick.
If you can hear me,
I can hear him good now.
5,000 out of California. Shalom, an honor to be here with you, Commander General Yohanna and all the generals. Is always looking forward to be here, representing for California.
Damn
all the
right.
brothers today out in Arizona, they out there setting up for the first camp out there last night, a night camp.
Give it up.
Excellent job in Arizona. Lahab and Captain and Cap were out there, everybody out there doing it. I had to stay behind because of my slavery, but we doing a great thing out here representing for the I.S.U.P.K. The Raza is coming together. We spreading this word deep out here in California, as always. And we here for the whole long run about this. You know what I'm saying? Most High for Commander General Hunt and the I.S.U.P.K. and bringing us all home as a family. Most High Christ, the Wadog, it's good to see you. It's good to see everybody up in the building, man. Listen, from the rip, fam. Now, you know, I wanted to go into everything else, blah, blah, blah. But fam, from the rip street, we got to talk about the Afghanistanians they lifted up and brought to the United States. Now, do I need to say anything else? Do I need to say anything else about this empire being the most racist empire on the planet? I want to hear from y'all, man. Y'all got to tell me, was it good, bad, ugly, right, wrong? Am I missing it? What's going on, man?
Salaki, if I could, General.
Please, y'all jump in.
Come on, General. General, you right on point, General. Everything that you said and prophesied is coming to pass. I woke up this morning and on my Uber app, I seen how to Uber for Afghanis, how to Uber for Afghanistan and the refugees here, how to support them on my Uber app. So what you're saying is so right, and it just shows how they look at our Hispanic, our Latino brothers as subhuman. I'm sure Kazak, y'all gonna go into this a little bit more, but it shows how that there's a racial caste system in this empire, and how they classify us as subhuman or potential enemy of the state, or I guess you could say a perpetual enemy of the state in this kingdom. But they of course they're gonna honor the traitors of another nation who, you know, for whatever reason turned against their own people for America, and then they get the red carpet rolled out for them. And that everything you said is right, General. Salaki.
Brother, I'm burning mad. Go ahead, Ash. I'm burning mad over this issue right here.
If I could too, sir. Also, another thing to be aware about the Afghans is they have a culture of having little boys dress up as girls. I forgot what they call them, something dancing boys.
Yeah.
You know, they have a culture so I could expect that type of culture to be coming to your neighborhood real soon. And then, of course, it'll be on the news, XYZ, but it won't be as bad as seeing a Mexican or Central American or a Haitian that be detained at the border and being called malo hombres. It won't be as bad as that. Right. Because America is about that. America is full of Christianity, of course, as you done taught us. You know, so there's things to be expected with these Afghanis coming over here. You know, I just want to see how soon they do it, you know.
John, y'all jump in, man, please, because you know if you give me the lane, you ain't gonna get no run time, because I'm finna take it to the court. I'm so damn mad over this issue. Y'all got to go on it. Y'all got to relieve my pain. Go ahead, jump in.
If I can jump in real quick. If you give me a minute, you know, the brutal history of anti-Latino discrimination in America is something that's historical, from school segregation to the lynchings to the mass deportation of Spanish-speaking citizens, because they're citizens. They ain't just anybody. You know, they're looking at us as wetbacks, but we historically have been citizens. This is our land. They've taken our country. They've taken our land. They've taken the fruit of our land. and put our labor to work for them. And they've taken all this and still treat us as if we are less than human, giving us less pay, keeping us in the fields, you know, in the detention centers, man, not to mention today. But, you know, I'm going to say this, sir, that the problem is not America. The problem is my Hispanic brothers and sisters who want to call themselves Mexican Americans. And that's a slap in the face to us. To use a term like Mexican American is to hate ourselves, because we cannot be a nation, America, that has historically hated us through all the acts of violence and hatred and deportation and everything they've thrown against us, and put us in the penal system alongside of our black brothers and sisters. You know, we went to war, Korea, Vietnam, World War I, World War II, Afghanistan, to come back, all of us, to live in the detention centers, to live in the barrios, in the housing projects, in the reservations, in the ghettos. This is what we came back for. And yet we still want to label ourselves Mexican American, Black American, Native American Indian. We got to start to learn to decolonize our minds and re-educate ourselves and stop calling ourselves Americans, because that's a disgraceful term to use when we start to realize what America has done to our people, not only my raza, but all Black and Native American Indians. And the problem with us is that we've been educated to love our oppressor, and we've been educated to continue being American. This Monday, they celebrate the Memorial Day, and this is what they're going to remember. They're going to remember the so-called heroes of Vietnam, the so-called heroes of World War II, the so-called heroes of Afghanistan. And I'm not for the Brown Berets, and I'm not for the Chicano movements, but if we're going to celebrate anybody, we should be celebrating the Mexican people who died in the park known as what is this park? Belvedere Park in 1970 and 1965, when they got shot by the police for raising up a voice for what? Social justice, equal rights. These people have been forgotten. And what they do remember is those that went to war to fight for a country that has hated us. Come on now. If we're going to honor anybody, we should be honoring our own. That's right. But we fail to honor our own. What we honor is the white man's army, the white man's movement, the white man's people, the white man's philosophies and their education. We can never see us as strong because we usurp that with them. We give them that honor, and we take it from us. And now we're stripped from being real Chicanos, real Mexicanos, real raza, real Black movement. We ain't none of that. We've lost it. And you know what? And the precept is very simple. I say it all the time. We have the zeal, right? But we don't have the knowledge. And because of that, we've lost everything. And you know what? Most High in Christ for the I.S.U.P.K, because right here, we're going to have the zeal and we're going to have the knowledge. And we're going to come together, that knowledge of the Most High, the commandments, the brotherhood, especially Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian coming together. That's what's going to make us a strong people again. And we're going to be that nation. We're going to be that nation that they're going to fear, because this time we're going to die together. We're going to rise together, and we're going to live together.
Damn right. Damn right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all jump in, man, because the outrage, the outrage I feel, and y'all just brought it out. We supposed to be flawed behind what they just did.
That's right.
We supposed to be flawed. If I could just say one quick thing, brother, just a second ago, not only was they locking our Latino babies up in cages, but they was also, y'all remember this, all them soldiers who had come back from Iraq, remember they was deporting them. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
ICE was picking them up because they was not citizens, but was in the military and fought the war.
Yes, sir.
And they was still locking them brothers up and putting them in the detention centers and deporting them out of the country. And when meanwhile they go and bring these people in out, they land them at the airport out with flowers and apple pie and welcome them and State Department spending billions to get them set up in the empire, while our people starve and die and get treated like garbage, man. Yo, it is completely unacceptable, man. And evil on another level. And don't ever tell me, you Christians out there, that America is fair and there's about equality and we working towards equality. You just brought in the terrorists. You claim you was fighting terrorism. That's why you was trying to build a wall on the southern border, because you were supposedly fighting terrorism. You understand? Right. And terrorists were supposedly sneaking in across the border. Meanwhile, you went and airlifted 125,000 of the terrorist people and brought them over here and totally set them up, which show you they could do whatever they want to do. They sat up there in them courts and in them protests and said, well, we trying to fix DACA and we trying to, get the laws right. And we've been working. That's BS. They just woke up today and decided the war was over in Afghanistan, dropped them airplanes on the airport at gunpoint and loaded them planes up, didn't ask them people nothing, didn't give them no COVID test, no immigration paper.
That's right.
Nothing. A bottle of water. And put them on a plane, flew them out the damn country, man. And you telling me America's a fair place? America is equal. That's supposed to be a major wake-up call for us. Y'all go and get into it. I ain't trying to hog it.
If I may,
jump in. Whoever jump in. Go ahead, Naya, Doc. Go ahead.
So like I said, just to throw in something there too with what you're saying, sir. This whole thing with the Mexicans, the crying is a fight on drugs too. That they bring in drugs, making tunnels and bringing a ton of drugs across to America. When the majority of the drugs coming from Afghanistan.
They said Afghanistan is the #1 producer of opioids in the world.
That's right, sir.
Go ahead,
Naya. And they're trying to demonize our Hispanic brothers.
Yes.
You understand?
We'll show you this is orchestrated, just like when we was reading about the model minority. They take one section of society, make them beloved, take another section of society and demonize them. So now, all of a sudden, after 20 years of war, now you got to love the Afghanistanians.
Right.
And continue to hate our Mexican brothers and sisters whose babies is in cages. That's a war crime, man. That's a war crime to do what they did. And they sitting in cages while the Afghanistanians is getting apple pie and setting house. And brother, wait till they get really bogged down, because they'll start evictions just to give them housing. There'll be a falafel joint. There'll be a falafel joint and a chicken place on every damn corner in this empire, man. You understand? But meanwhile, our Mexican brothers the tribe of I.S.U.P.K, man, fought in all the wars.
That's
See
right.
that? Stop the deportation of military veterans.
That's right.
And bring deported veterans home, because there's thousands of them got pushed out of the country under them ICE agents, them white supremacists they had down there on the border under that white supremacist president who was down there picking up brothers and sisters in vans, running schemes. You go to motor vehicle to get your license renewed. You a veteran, think you're going to be honored by the empire. You walk in there to get your license. The minute you say what your name is, 2 goddamn agents snatch you up, throw you in a van, and ship you across the border when you fought for the empire, man.
That's right.
We fought for the empire, and instead, and brother, let me tell you why if I could, I'm going to let y'all jump right in on this. And I'm so glad we led with this story too, because this here is so heinous. And sometimes I be wishing we could see into time, because what we are experiencing right now with the Afghanistanians is exactly what black people in the South experienced with the Nazis that they brought over here as prisoners, man. They brought the Nazis over here in the 40s as prisoners. And the Nazis was able to eat in the restaurants in the South while black people had to go around the back, and the Nazis were fighting a war against them, man.
Right.
And you will meet America's fair and loving. We better turn to the God of the Bible.
That's right.
Damn everything else. You understand? And this moment, and if I could, I'm coming back to you, Parashia. This moment in time is supposed to show us exactly that. This moment in time is supposed to show us what we read about in our history books. Here it is. Look at it in front of your eyes, man. Look at it in front of your eyes. Okay, and they're gonna be sorry for this because they own white people are going to be furious. They own veterans. They just, by making this move, they done sent tens of thousands of veterans to the Republican side. They might lose the House and the Senate come midterm elections behind this move because it was so-called American, man. Like they, if you're gonna be a bloodthirsty, blood-curdling bastard, at least be even-handed with it. Right. At least give them the same thing you gave. They left 80 billion. You understand? 80. That's my man, Yahweh Yadi. Well, Yadi, if I could call you Yadi, brother, you said it right. Turn to the nigga God. Like that's where our head should be at. Look at this brother right here. You understand? You know what I mean? He's in his uniform. And this brother is Fabian he's deported out of the country for paperwork. And meanwhile, they flew them, brother, at a moment's notice. That's the part you got to remember. Right. At a moment's notice. This wasn't like they went through immigration and they just approved it. They shoved them on the back of a C-17, took it off while Afghanistanians was dropping off the wheels.
That's right.
They flew it in. It would show you if they was falling off the wheels, they don't know who they loaded into those planes.
Right.
The
That's
people
right.
bum rushed the plane. They closed the back door. They flew down the runway, took the bird off, flew into Germany or whatever European country it was. Gave them all. They probably didn't even give them immunization shots. And flew them into the United States. They said they dropped 20,000 of them in Philadelphia. They dropped 20 and all over the damn country. Meanwhile, our Mexican brothers who have been sitting in cages since Obama was in office.
Right.
That's right.
Our brothers and sisters' babies have been separated from they said there's 1,600. And I know it's way more than that. They said there's 1,600 Central and South American babies that they cannot find. They in their system, they cannot find them. But they can airlift these Afghanistanians all the way across the world. Right. These opium salesmen, these terrorists, or whatever the hell they are, they can ship them all the way to the other side of the world. Listen, I'm done trying to be popular, man. I know already I'm just gonna be controversial all the way because when I see this evil, I just can't understand it. Like every Latino should be, and I'm gonna pass it right back to Parashi. I'm holding Parashi up, but I gotta tell you, man. And let me tell you what you're gonna experience very shortly, because y'all hit on it already. You're gonna finally get to see that the same demon that has humiliated us in the tribe of Judah and Benjamin and Levi is the same demon that is humiliating our Issacharite brothers and our other brothers. And that is the demon of Christianity, the mark of the beast that's making our own brothers and sisters turn against us for the trinket of calling themselves an American. For calling yourself an American, a Latino American or Hispanic American, you are now going to hate your very brothers. You're going to see our people who go to church hate their very brothers and sisters simply because they do not have a small piece of paper from the white man called a green card. They're going to hate them for it.
That's right.
It's insane, man. Y'all jump in. Parashia, you had the floor. Go ahead.
Answer, if I may, with the Afghans, they're in the UK as well, sir, and like they're getting looked after, sir. They get like a new a house, and like they don't have to do anything. And then now regarding us, the Benjamites, they deport us illegally. even though we've been here, work jobs, paid a tax, they want us gone, and then now they just allow them in, and they can't even do anything, sir. In the UK.
Imagine during a pandemic. During a pandemic,
right?
They fly them from the other side of the world and drop them down in the empire here, like it's nothing, man. Y'all jump in on this. Whoever else want to jump in before I switch topics on this, y'all. Go ahead, y'all.
So I think Captain Shock wanted to say something, sir. It's a lot.
No, that's me.
You go ahead. Like that Captain Parasha was just saying there too. Like I think I was telling you earlier in the week when I landed in London on Tuesday. I mean, it was ridiculous. The thing looked like a terminal from one of them 1920s movie where it's just hundreds of people, but they all them, you know, that Afghani looking type, and they're not coming over with, you know, one of them rolling trolleys. They have them big suitcases, them old school kind of crocus bag suitcases with a zip, and they're wrapped in plastic, and the kids just rolling them through the damn airport. And I'm like, these is not tourists. These is them people who coming through. Parasha tell me 25,000 of them they sent to UK, 5,000 come straight to Birmingham. And they have a problem with everybody black. You can't say nothing about it. And remember, they were deporting 60, 70-year-old grandparents, people who've never been to the Caribbean. They was just deported, and it's almost like they knew they was going to make this move, and they was making space for these immigrants. You know what I mean? It's almost like they knew it, like it was a plan hatched a year or two ago, and they started moving on us so much to make room for them. And now they bring in the terrorism home.
And if you go to church and can't see this, you just a clown. I'm sorry to say, I don't want to just throw the derogatory terms out, but if you go into church, man, and you can't even see this, you don't see what's happening to us right before our eyes. Go ahead, whoever was going to jump in. I ain't mean to jump all over it.
So, like, if I could, General.
Come on.
And just to piggyback off what you said and what Captain Mashak said, if you go to the mosque, if you black and Hispanic and go to the mosque, if you can't see there's something wrong with you, because it just shows you how America can bypass bureaucracy and streamline citizenship.
Yes.
Overnight. Like they literally overnight streamline citizenship. And even if you look at what's going on now with the disaster, the hurricane, there's Hispanics, Latino brothers and sisters that can't even get help during this time. So it's a slap in the face to our people, which is why they always try to change the narrative. This move here has fractured the Republican Party. It has fractured the Republican Party because now they don't want to be seen as hypocrites. First, you're anti-immigration. Now you streamline citizenship of all those potential sleeper cells in America. And then you have our brothers and sisters here who, once again, as Captain Parasha stated, paying taxes, doing all the things doing everything by the book. You understand? But then they get treated, you know what I'm saying, like they nobody. You understand? Which is why the Bible says we live in the shadow of Egypt. You understand? We're not in Egypt. We are in the shadow. We are outside, you understand, of this place. The way we operate on the fringe of this place. You understand? Salaka, General.
Listen, you so right, man. You so right. Somebody jump in. Who's up?
I was just going to quickly say, so you know.
Also, too, I hope our young brothers and sisters that do get to watch this episode can see fully how it's very American to easily incarcerate babies at the border, but yet streamline, like Captain William said, streamline Afghans at a whim. It's also very American to take these people who they say needed this help and just go put them in your ghetto the same way they put the Chinese in your ghetto, the same way they put the Arab chicken in your ghetto and the Chinese food in your ghetto. It's very American to also lock us up in the prisons and fill them up. It's also very American to have abortion clinics everywhere. That's American too. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like if you're young in America and don't realize this is what really America is, and not what you've seen on the internet. You need to throw away your tablets, your phones, and everything, so that way you can really see how America operates. Right. For those of us that have age, we've been seeing America how it operates. Man, General Hunter, so like I said, you do remember mid 70s and early 80s, and even the late 60s, how they did us wrong in the South Bronx.
That's right.
How they would kick whole families out. I'm talking about in dead ass winter, out to the streets. And here's the thing: in New York City, they still doing those things. But I bet you now that waiting list for Section 8 is now going to get filled with more and more Afghani families. Meanwhile, I.S.U.P.K and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Judites, they're going to put us on another 20, 25, 30-year waiting list to get housing. But they can get it instantaneously. Right. Because America pities them, but don't pity us. Right. That's all I want to say.
General, if I could just to go back off of what you were saying, like, where they get any money for all this? Like, it was such a toss-up to even give their stimulus money. Where are they getting the money not to house 20 or 200 or 2,000 people? We're talking about 25,000, 100,000 people. Where are you getting the money to house, feed them, pay for the electric, get them soap, food, transport them back and forth? Not to mention the increase in the medical bill, because you know they're going to have that COVID among them, because they're all going to be living with each other, packing in their little mosque, their little hut somewhere, some mosque they're going to have. Meanwhile, they talk about we are a strain on the economy. They start to say how we the ones draining the economy with the welfare and the this, and you bring in these terrorists and put them on welfare. And nobody ain't saying nothing about it. Right. Nothing at all. Like, where's the money for all this thing coming?
And if I could, damn right. And if I could, like now, okay, this event should answer the question in black people's minds, especially you dumb, stupid, church-going people that don't never look past that pulpit. Right. Like this man has been telling us for 100 years, at some point you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. At some point you got to pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You black people always looking for something free. The Latino people always looking for a handout. You've been saying this for so many years, and here's what we got to see. We should see that every other ethnic group that is in the Black and Latino and Native Indian community that's gotten over the top of us, every last one of them got over the top of us for these type of things, for the empire doing these type of things to us when they want to help somebody else. Like now, we got to go in further poverty so that we can make room for the Afghanistanians. We got to go in further poverty, and they ain't gonna be discriminated against like we are. No. They're not going to be discriminated against. They're going to get an even slate. How you know? You bringing them in and saying you giving them a fair chance. That's how they're going to be looked at and beloved by. But us, we're going to get pushed back down to the bottom and have to start all over again, which is why the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians should come together and serve the Lord. And let the Lord bring his judgment down on this place, man. You know what I mean? Anybody else, man, before we switch on?
If I may say something, if I may, one of the problems that I have with my Latino brothers and sisters, of course, is that, they like I was saying, they want to be Mexican American, but when you want to be American, what you're really aiming for is to be white.
That's right.
That's the real goal, to be white. And when you're white, what you really are is you're taking on the character of a person that's hateful, that's envious, that's greedy, that has no compassion whatsoever for Black or Hispanics or Native American Indians. And when you become these people, you actually become a hateful individual towards your own people. Yes. And the problem with Hispanic people today, and I'm going for my Hispanic brothers and sisters, hoping that when they watch this show, man, I allow them to point the finger at me, to let them know that, I'm against that. I'm against being American, Mexican American. I'm against it. They can talk all they want, because the problem is that I was seeing that during the deportation and the incarceration and the holding of facilities of the Mexican Latinos, a lot of Mexicans were with that. They were actually,
they was cold-blooded.
They were actually, you know, part of that whole situation.
You right.
I had people on my other thread talking about, well, they shouldn't have been illegal. Well, they should have came legally. Well, they should have, you know, they should have came over here like I came over here. Well, you
imagine
didn't come over
that.
here like that.
The white man didn't split screen us, Mashak. The white man didn't come over here legally.
That's right.
He came over here and overthrew the British to get the damn land, slaughtered everybody over here.
That's right.
But meanwhile, these brothers got to be held to a standard that nobody else. Listen, no other ethnic group came here legally. The ones that came over Ellis Island, they wasn't legal. They came to Ellis Island because they were coming from with refugee status. All them old Europeans that brought all them rats over here that infested the empire with rats. None of them was legal, man. That's why they came to Ellis Island. They had to go to Ellis Island and stay out there because of the lice that was growing in their hair on them ships.
Right.
They didn't come over here and present a passport and a visa and come into the country. They came over here, didn't change their names and all. You know how many so-called Jews in Texas have American names, man? Tens of thousands of ranchers. You think these is good old Texan boys? Meanwhile, they the so-called Jew done changed their name, man. You know how many? You know how many? And let me tell you something. New York City is particularly filled with a ton of our Latino brothers who are trying to front like they are white people.
Right.
I don't know how it is on that West Coast, but I know on this East Coast, a ton of our Latino brothers is walking around trying to look Italian. Trying to grease their hair back, look Italian, trying to talk like, you know, like they're an Italian Guido or something. Meanwhile, you understand? When meanwhile, you straight up blue blood Rican, man.
Right.
You fronting like you a damn
right,
man. Instead of taking your royal blood, you fronting like you somebody else. So you can get ahead in the empire. You willing to give up your culture. No different. These 12 tribes, brother, the same thing goes on in all 12. And this right here is supposed to wake us up as a people. We're supposed to be like, you know what? Damn all that. We now know the real story. Because listen, if given enough time, 20 years, 30 years from now, we'll be on the bottom. The Afghanistanians will be on the top, and they'll be telling us, y'all got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Y'all got to work harder. If you work hard, and they'll be telling the stories of their father. We came here as immigrants after the war from Afghanistan, and we worked so hard, and we had nothing, and we shared a piece of bread, and we worked hard, and that's how we get when bullshit. You got State Department money, State Department.
That's right.
Yeah. You got all kinds of refugee checks. Okay. Then when you got finally set up and got your little store, you called your cousin in Afghanistan and he started shipping the opium over to you and you selling it out the back store. That's how Michael Brown lost his life. Michael Brown was selling dope for the Arabs. That's what sparked the entire Ferguson, man. So don't tell me about that, man. What y'all saying is right. Go ahead, Ash. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add that a perfect example to this is the Armenians that live in California today, because the Armenians are the ones that hold the ownership of all the dispensaries. And you got these weed stores all across Glendale and Pasadena and North Hollywood, and all these dispensaries are owned by the Armenians. And you got them living in neighborhoods where Hispanics can no longer live because the prices of the homes there are ridiculous. But yet you got these Armenians bringing their families from overseas, no English, not a goddamn drop of English. And I know because I work in that area. So I see them every goddamn day.
And no immigration papers, nothing.
Exactly. And they're driving up in Mercedes and Bentleys and you know, in all their high-end cars. And they don't even know how to put a goddamn air in their tires.
Bunch of drug dealers.
Yeah, they expect us to do everything for them. And this is what it is. And us Mexicans and blacks, we the ones buying all the weed at these places. We're the ones giving them all the money, giving them all the business. And we thinking we off good, getting a little hookup from the Armenians. Man, Mexicans and Armenians have never been as one, ever. I remember back in the 70s growing up, we had this thing in our neighborhood, and it was a gang thing. It was called the Armenian riots. And it was when all the Mexican gangs got together because the Armenians started to migrate into our area, and they were crossing out our gang names and writing AP, which meant Armenian power. And they were doing that to all our gangs out here. So there was a truce in like 79, 78, when we all got together, and anywhere we saw Armenians, it was an all-out beating for them.
Wow.
And that's the way it used to be here. And now all of a sudden you got Armenians dressing just like Mexicans, rapping in Spanish, giving all the love to Armenian rappers. And this thing is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But you know whose fault it is? Once again, it's our fault. Because while they're trying to be us, we trying to be white. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us embracing our culture and giving it everything, we gave our lowriders to the goddamn Chinese. Japan has all our lowriders. Japan's got all the culture of cholos out there now. And what are we doing? We sitting back here picking pennies. Selling drugs to our own people, diminishing our own selves while they're living luscious, being us, being just like us. But you know what? Most High in Christ, they ain't never gonna take this culture from us, right?
That's right, brother. I am right. I am right, brother.
General, if I could jump in too, sir.
I think Kahan might have been in front of you out.
No sweat, sir.
Let him.
Slack, General. I yielded, General.
Oh, okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Go
ahead, Mashak. Yes, I think Ash is after you, and then we got to change subjects, man. We gonna be on this all night. Go ahead, Cap. You got it.
Just two things, sir. Just 2 points on them.
Let's do it.
Make one was like you ain't hearing even with all how angry the Republicans are with these immigrants coming through, and these the right side on the UK. How angry they are. They're not even coming up with the rhetoric of these are some bad hombres or you're bringing rapists. Like even that was only reserved for us. Like they're angry and we never harmed them. But these are straight up terrorists they're bringing. And still, even though they're angry with the move, there's no forum, no Fox News, no O'Reilly, nobody saying, well, these are terrorists you're bringing over. And the terrorist mantra. But remember, Mexicans are rapists, and these are bad hombres, and that was a mantra they would pound in, and they rape, and they would put on the news some little random rape case or rape charge somewhere. But so far, you are yet to hear a plane load of terrorists. These people bring bombs. It's not, like, even though they're angry about that, their hatred for them is not as strong as the hatred for us.
You so right.
In the middle of all of this. You know what I mean? And the second point was, so that's like what Kazak Yard was saying. That same thing that happened with him and with them in California with the Armenians. Just the little time I spent in the UK and the stories the brothers tell me. If you want to know what's going to happen in your neighborhood, you talk to the brothers in the UK. It's the same way. And just what you said just now there, General, how in 20 years they're going to act like, they came here and worked hard. And Arab told us that at camp today. When we brought up how they was deporting the Windrush, and clearing out the housing, and now 25,000. He said that's a lie. They never deported the Windrush. And then when we back him up on it, he turned around and said there was no black people on the Windrush. It was Polish people and Italians and all this.
Damn.
And like they, and now he really, his point is, what you so mad about? What you so mad? Like, they're coming over and they're not feeling sorry for the oppression. Like we shouldn't give them our sympathy at all. They're gonna come and literally take over and become the aggressor. Right. And become the one who go and patrol, like police the street and tell you where you could walk and where you can't walk. These little slow and nimble people coming through the airport now and bowing their head and oh thank God and all that nonsense. They are going to rise up and become the bullies in every neighborhood. That's what's going on in the streets of the UK. Everybody think UK is a big Christian country. UK is a Muslim country. It's straight Allahu Akbar in every goddamn corner, every store, everywhere. It's Afghans, Pakistanis, Arabs, and they all coming over with the help of the UK government as a microcosm of stuff that happened before. These Afghans, that's what's going to happen. They're going to come and get placed everywhere. Get everything Martin Luther King marched for, that civil rights, going straight to them. They're going straight to them and they're going to benefit to the fullest of it, sir. Like these brothers here, that thing that's going on, they're fully familiar with it. Salaki, that was it, sir.
Con. Who was up?
Kahan, sir. Captain Kahan.
Kahan, you get this?
I just want to say, oh yeah, Kahan, I just want to say, it's so heavy what Captain Shock bringing out, man. And while we got to come together, I see that shirt you got on, Commander Gen.YAHANNA, black and brown. Like, we down by law, man.
Yeah.
And when I say law, I mean the law all the way back to Moses, man. We one people, and we got to come together because you see what's going on with these people. Like somebody said earlier about the drug trade. This whole move with the Afghans switched up the drug trade. A lot of people in the street then lost their plug now because of this whole move. So they got to get a new plug now on the street because who they regular supplier now is probably either dead or on the plane here. You understand? So these things have shifted. The Lord, like you, John, you prophesied a long time ago in one of the Passover. The Lord is shifting this place. He's shifting the battlefield, the ground. So and I want to point out one thing too. How we own the Democrats and the Republicans, but you Republicans try to change the narrative. And the changing the narrative is still considered a lie.
Right.
Because when these other nations, Captain Shock brought it out earlier, Martin Luther King, integration is a failure. So when other nations, we're not supposed to integrate anyway. But when other nations integrate, they integrate from the top down, not the bottom up. They don't want to put one child in the school. They want to be the supervisor. They want to be the person on the administrative board. And that's what you have coming to America. You understand? So this is what is happening. And this is why, like you brought out our culture is so much, because those other nations can now infiltrate our culture and sell it back to us in a capitalist society and call it capitalism.
Right.
So this is why you have to join the ISUPK, get under righteous leadership. This is the last holdout, brothers and sisters. Salaki, gentlemen.
Damn right, brother. Damn right. All right, let's talk about. Was you gonna say something, Ash?
Yes, sir. If I could,
Please. Please. So
in Spanish.
Get down, brother.
So, para que ustedes vean, aquellos que están viendo este show o lo ven en el futuro y sepan lo que están viendo en la noticia con esa gente que viene de Afganistán, ¿verdad? Sabe que en el mismo Caribe, en Puerto Rico, en Cuba, en la República Dominicana, van a estar ahí también. Van a ir a tu barrio, se van a colocar como siempre, se van a prosperar y nunca van a hacer negocio contigo. What I said, sir, was that for the Latinos that are in the Caribbean who think they're white, because a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans on that, like as Kazak said, be thinking that they're white. But in the Caribbean, right, these Afghans that we seen on TV, on the plane, not only are they going to be put over here, they're also going to go into the Caribbean and set up shop as they've always been doing. Because in the Caribbean, you have Arabs that have been living there 50 plus years. Right. But now they're going to have more of their people coming over, setting up shop also in the Caribbean. And then we're going to be left wondering why our government is not helping us with these funds and those funds, because all that now is going to be filtered to those people because the sympathy card is going to be played. They're going to put the violins on the people and make them feel sad. Because I bet you right now, if I were in Puerto Rico, I probably would see some on every show, some type of clip and some music behind them showing us how terrible these people are living in Afghanistan, how terrible in the battle-torn warfield. Meanwhile, San Juan, Ponce, Manatee, right?
That's right.
The island, it's known as Iraq. Why is it known as Iraq on the island? Because of all the terrorist lifestyle that we live daily caused by the Puerto Rican government. The same way I could say about the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? Because and all this is because when you dig deep in, you'll find out America was the one that set it up that way.
Right.
America is the fault in the way the Caribbean is run today is their fault.
Right.
That's all I want to say on that. Pero ustedes gente que van a ver este show, estén pendientes porque eso es lo que va a suceder en su comunidad. That's it, sir.
Damn right. Let's jump in on that Hurricane Ida, fam.
All
right. So like you said, I can say one thing.
Please, y'all jump in. I didn't mean to cut y'all short. Salagi.
No, I was just going to talk about that hurricane. Now we're going to see if America's military going to come and save black people in Louisiana who drowning. You understand? We're going to see if they have the money, the resources that they spend to go miles away to go help Afghanistanis. You understand? When right here, people drowning, people house underwater, people need help, food, clothes, toothbrush. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Where's the C-17 now?
Salaki,
I said, where's the C-17 now?
You can't, sir. Where the C-17 for New Orleans?
Right.
For when the hurricane hit Puerto Rico. You understand? Where the C-17? Where was the military? Where was the mic? Where was the help that is so-called, you know what I mean, trying to show that the earth that they're such, you know what I mean, a helpful people. Where all the help is now for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Where it is now. You understand? Where to show you that America don't love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Right. You know what I mean? You teach us in here that love ain't a feeling, it's an action. And by the way America acts towards blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it's clearly seen that we are sowing them in their eyes. You know what I mean? In the oppressor eyes. You understand?
Damn right.
Damn right, brother. Damn right.
That was it, sir.
Damn right.
So I could piggyback off what Captain.
Please jump in. Salaki.
With that hurricane, it was the two hurricanes, right? Irma and then Maria after that. And of course, Esau found an opportunity. Now he go up there, right, with his Bitcoin wealth and start gobbling up land, buying up land, sectioning off land like Dorado. Dorado one time was a place where, you know, Ephraim could go. The beach is there now. Donald Trump owned property at Dorado Beach, right? Plus, Dorado now is getting filled with Edomites, and the locals are getting tired of it. The locals are fed up with it. Why? Because it's getting filled. There's an island off of Puerto Rico called Vieques, right? And speaking of Officer Morgana Muff, who told me about this, that little piece of island also is getting filled with Edomites. That little piece of island, and it's the same island. I don't know if you recall some years ago where that brother, David, I forgot his name, who died trying to defend the island because of the military base that was located on there. Why? Because of all the weapons that didn't get destroyed, but that were left on the field, and people were getting cancer left and right. So there were massive protests on the island of Vieques.
I remember that.
So now Esau come and buying all the property up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he took advantage. Hurricane destroyed a lot of portions of Puerto Rico. I speak to constantly to Officer Morgana Muff, and it's like to this day they still haven't recovered to the way it was when I was there. It's still a slow process. But Esau come and with his wealth starts gobbling up everything. You know, that's what I want to say on that.
Come. Somebody else want to jump in?
Just one other thing too, sir. Just to piggyback on what I was saying with the with America helping other nations, and that's where our people get that whole idea from. Because, you know, I mean, your Oprah Winfrey's, like, instead of helping black people here, they will go help Africans. They'll go help all these other nations, but blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians in here. You understand? That whole America ideology.
And General Kathumgabar says 67 people across 8 states have died under this hurricane. 65 people were killed across, right? 65 people killed across 8 states in this hurricane. So what you're saying is so right. What the hell? Why the hell? Where's the military at now? Which is, once again, we gotta rely on the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Like, that's who can get us out of this hell. You know, man. Like, that's how we gonna get out of this mess we in. Okay, let's get a little of them hurricane scriptures, y'all.
Come.
Let's pull a couple of those, all right, before we move on to the abortion issue.
Come on. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise.
And brother, that's what took place in New York. They did not expect it in New York. They said the people were stuck in the subway in New York from 9 o'clock that night until the next morning. They said you couldn't float into Brooklyn if you wanted to. They said the water was coming down in that joint, brother, everywhere, which was the hand of the Most High. Man, they lucky it wasn't worse. But if you saw some of that footage, that water was everywhere. I mean, it shut that subway down, and they don't shut that subway money off unless it is the Most High. Like that's the only thing that stop them from shutting that subway down is an act of the Most High. And sure enough, it got shut the hell down. That place almost got, which also shows you how the Lord could just so easily cut this empire off. Like we do the right thing and pray and do the Lord's will and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Most High could cut this place off overnight, man.
That's right.
I didn't mean to cut in on the breakdown. Go ahead.
Will come with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Verse 7. And the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, even all that fight against her and her munition, and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision.
Right. This is like a dream of a night vision. They said the people on the bus was standing on the seats. That's how much water was on the bus. All the Mercedes and Lexuses and Rolls Royces, you treading in. There's you go with your Rolls Royce. There's your Rolls right there. Them sneakers is your Rolls. Look at that there. Good night. He riding that train through the ocean. Look at that there. That's New York City. You know what's in that water. I ain't got to tell you. You need a tetanus shot after you come out of there. Yeah, man. You got more?
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 2. Behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one, which is as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, such cast down to the earth with the hand.
Like a tempest of hell. And let me tell you something, Mark, as we going towards this issue with this abortion, the Most High is a terrible power. Do you know that they said because of the coronavirus, the maternity wards in Black and Latino neighborhoods are flooded with women? Like the coronavirus brought forth, because one, they could not have abortions. You couldn't get the abortion, so you had to have the baby. And two, you couldn't go to the club, you couldn't go do nothing. So, but there was only a few things you could do inside the house. You could barely get a McDonald's hamburger. So to pass the time, you ain't have but cable TV and making babies. They said blacks and look Salaki. They said you was trying to say something, Salaki.
Oh no, I knew we were still on the storm. I was gonna bring out some on the storm.
So no, we still on the storm, but I just wanted to prefix it with the fact that the COVID and these storms and these tornadoes coming from the Most High is stopping everything that they doing. They couldn't have abortions. On top of that, we had an unprecedented amount of babies, and on top of that, now they're going to be changing the law. So go ahead, jump on in on this. The point being, the Most High and all his works are wonderful, man. All his works are wonderful. Go ahead, Khan. I didn't mean to cut you off. Salagi.
Khan, General, what you just off what you said, building off what you said in Deuteronomy 23, it talks about how we got to publish his works, the works that he do in this earth, man, because this storm was so powerful, General. Hurricane Ida, the Lord in the whirlwind, I mean, it pushed back the current of the Mississippi River. That's how powerful this storm was.
Push the current back.
It pushed the barges on the Mississippi, and they called the Mississippi the mighty Mississippi. But there's one mightier than the Mississippi.
God.
You understand how the scripture said? So he pushed the water, you know, in Mississippi go from the Gulf all the way to Canada. And he pushed, the current was pushed backwards. So the river was flowing backwards when the storm came into the Gulf. That's how much power and sheer force. And you got a lot of old timers down here that said they was through all the big hurricanes, Katrina. And we all know Katrina, what made Katrina worse was the levees breaking. But as far as sheer force, Betsy, Katrina, and all that, they said this storm here was in the top three because of the sheer force. I'm just riding through these areas in these parishes, surveying, with just looking at some of the damage, seeing how the Lord peeled back roofs and bent carbon steel like aluminum foil. This wasn't no average storm here. This was of the Lord. Like everything is of the Lord. So this right here, it was one for the books, General. Salaki.
This one was one for the books. Like they said that they announced an unprecedented emergency in New York City. Like they went to an emergency level they never went through. Salaki, go ahead, Ash.
If I could, two things, sir. There's another one that's brewing right now in the Caribbean that they fear might come this way too.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir. If I got another scripture, because we also got to mention in New Jersey that tornado that touched down, and it was big and terrifying. I saw the video footage on that, and people were scared to death. Right. If I could, I'm gonna have to. It's where is it at? Isaiah, Jeremiah. Was it 23 and what? Right
19, sir.
19.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 19. Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord is gone forth in a fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked.
You see that? So I don't know if you want to touch it, sir.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You got it.
Okay, so now that way the world could see, as you were saying, sir, this is the Lord doing these things. Like if you ever doubt, because there are people out there that don't believe what the Bible say, well, no, you can't escape that. You can't escape them words. Like the Lord said, what proceeded out of my mouth, that shall not return to me void. Right. The Lord said that these things would happen. And now what man gonna say? And I see it like this, because some Edomites are so damn proud they don't want to cover up with that mask. Like they just walking willy-nilly. Well, what they gonna do about this now? This is gonna cost them millions upon millions. And if that hurricane comes that's brewing in the Caribbean, they're gonna have to spend some more. You think like this is like the Lord's way to answer. You want to spend millions on the Afghans? Well, guess what? I'm gonna make you spend some more on infrastructure on top of that. Yes.
So like if I could.
Go ahead, Doc.
So like, and if I could, General, and guess who cleaning up these cities? Guess who's fixing the roofs? The Latino brothers.
Damn.
That's who doing it. When I rode through this morning, General, riding through the area, you know what I'm saying? They had different people out here. The Hispanics were on the roof 6 o'clock in the morning fixing rich people's home. 6 o'clock in the morning on the roofs, cleaning up, doing all these things. See, the people, once again, the backbone of America, the workforce, whether it's in the service economy or the construction or whatever, it is our people. We are what keeps this place running.
Yeah,
you're gonna see many of them out there, especially on the Gulf Coast where they got a lot of oil refineries. They said it was a chemical oil spill. Guess who's gonna be out there with minimal safety equipment cleaning up that oil spill? Cleaning up. It's gonna be our people. You understand? The people who they're gonna give you maybe a little money, but it ain't gonna be worth our health. They're gonna send them out there to say clean up.
That's right.
You understand? That is what go on. You understand? That is what go on in this kingdom. Salaki, General.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you out. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir.
No, I was done, sir.
Salaki on that, yo. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir.
If I could add, and then, most of these areas that are being hit are places like Avery Estates, all these rich areas with huge homes. They look more like plantations, you know what I'm saying? But Most High in Christ, Salaki said, but Most High in Christ for the alligators that are eating the white folks out there. You know what I'm saying? Because he sent them out there to do that work that we don't do. So God's sending the alligators out there to finish that work. You know what I'm saying?
God, go ahead.
I can't leave it alone, sir.
God.
But them Hispanics Kahan talking about, they need them military trucks that them Afghanistan Talibans have.
Right.
You understand? They need the truck, they need the equipments to help, you know what I mean? To help us out here. You understand? And then to boot, I don't know if you all saw, but they left all the dogs and them across there in cages.
Damn.
All the dogs they left across there in cages.
Damn.
That was helping them.
You kidding me?
They left the dogs in the airport.
Meanwhile, they put Michael Vick in jail for 5 years.
I'm not gonna.
That's right.
Hey, Salaki,
go ahead.
Salaki.
If I was just gonna say them dogs gonna be all right now. In fact, they're gonna get free before our Hispanic brothers. One white woman gonna cry with a picture of that dog on a Zoom chat arc, and brother, everybody will cut the Gandalf from Lord of the Rings gonna fly down there and free them dogs. Them dogs gonna be all right. They're gonna get food. They're gonna get a first class flight. But you come across here talking that Spanish, you going in the cage.
Sir, and Salakia, let me add that Captain's talking about is absolutely true, because out here they're already raising awareness for the dogs that are being left behind in Afghanistan, because they say that those are soldiers, those are military soldiers that should be saved, and they're showing pictures out here. They're doing protests for the dogs that are being left behind, service dogs, and they're comparing them to the service dogs the police department has. That, you know, if you shoot a dog here, that's a life sentence. Because you shoot a police officer, when you shoot a dog, goddamn dogs, you know, they're trained to attack black people. You know what I'm saying? Like when they go out and they let that dog loose, if the dog doesn't see a black person, he's confused. He don't know who to attack. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trained to do these things. And now they're protesting because they're leaving these dogs behind. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Go ahead,
as well, like it shows how weak man is, man. Because like with them, the Most High, he's using rain and wind, man. And it's weird how like man, they invest into everything, tanks, bombs, and the Lord is using wind and rain, and no one can't even come against it, man. That's why, you know what I mean, the God that we have, he's something else, man. And you know what I mean, although sometimes someone may look at the oppressor and think, damn, he's got it. I mean, he has it all. He obviously does not, because he can't stop wind and rain.
That's right.
That's right. Damn right. Right.
If I could get one scripture too, sir, before
please,
you move on.
y'all jump in with that.
Go ahead, please, sir.
Psalms 83 and 15. So persecute them with thy tempest. So persecute them with thy tempest. So persecute them with thy tempest. I make them afraid. I make them afraid. I make them afraid with thy storm.
Like our God is alive, so just the back of what
That's right. That's right.
Persecute them with that tempest. Like that tempest follow them. Like I mean, and once again, we ain't making fun of it for our brothers and sisters who got caught in it. It's unfortunate, but for sure, these plagues that come on this place is for the wicked. It's you know, come out of her so you partake not of her plagues.
That's
like
right.
The Lord plague in this house, and this tempest follow them. It like Ted Cruz, the last one. He tried to fly to Cancun. The storm will follow you this time.
That's right.
You want to come north. The storm on 95 coming up. 95 north. 95 north. It's coming up the road.
Using GPS.
That's right.
It's coming up the road. It ain't stopping with you.
God.
You know what I mean? Like as Prash is saying, like man is really weak in his greatest day, in his greatest invention. The Lord is going to show you just how, you know, insignificant you are.
That's right.
Totally insane. And he gonna make it clean up after him. That's the gangster shit. So like now he gonna wreck you and then make you clean up the damn crime scene. I don't know. But if you want to worship that rock didn't bring them 250,000 35,000 Afghans over.
Right.
That rock can do a damn thing, and that cross ain't saved nobody.
That's
God
right.
of this Bible, he doing something, ridiculous to this earth.
Right.
Salaki, and if I can add real quick, our people think that that they can get away from the Lord, and they're finding out the hard way. We know about the diseases and the pestilence that the Lord is bringing over this earth, including the hurricanes and all these things. And our people think that worshiping the white man's God is going to help them. That's going to get them, that salvation that they need. But today, what we're looking at Oscar de la Hoya, who has taken all his vaccine shots and finds himself right now in the hospital battling COVID on his deathbed. You know what I'm saying? And it's because these brothers just don't understand that praying and worshiping the wrong gods, man. That's the problem with us. The problem with us is we haven't learned our lesson, man. We've been in captivity over and over and over and over again, and we still don't understand that the only way we're going to avoid anything on us is to follow the Most High and to keep his commandments, and most importantly, to come into this truth and do this work, because we do this work, the Lord watches over us and our families, that he has mercy on us because he needs us to do this work. So as long as we're here, we know that the Lord's going to have that covering over us. And that's what we need to look for. 1 John talks about, we have not chosen him. He has chosen us.
That's right.
That we become that we do this work and that we bring in fruit and that our fruit lasts, so that whatever we may ask for will be given to us in his name. And what we're going to ask for is the mercy that he can supply for us and our families and our loved ones and the brothers and sisters in the UPK, because that's what we ask for. We don't ask for riches or homes or anything like that. What we ask for is that covering, that security, that we know these things are coming, and we pray that the Lord have mercy on all of us.
Damn right, y'all. Give it up.
It's like if I could, John.
Come on, Cat.
This is why the Bible says wisdom gonna be the stability of our times. When you see all these things, shout out to all the brothers that's in Hebrew Academy. That's what these times are for. All the brothers that's in the Hebrew Academy, shout out to y'all, man. Continue to push through. You on a glorious path, man. But this is, and we were built for these times. You understand? Commander General Yohanna, I gotta just say it, has built us for these times under the Most High in Christ.
Damn right.
This is where and like, I'm gonna be honest. See, a lot of us evacuated before this storm hit, but me just coming back, of course, my rib, she works in the medical field. I had to come back down here. They activated her team to come down back down here. But just being in a disaster area, it heightens your sense of manhood, and you learn so much when there's lack of resources. You learn to be the UPK teaches you to be resourceful when there's lack of resources. It teaches you about brotherhood when there's lack of leadership, and this is what it's all about. You understand? And this is what they are afraid of. You want to know why they get the military down here and try to get it? Because they are afraid of a power vacuum. And they know only the strong can feel it. So this is what the UPK is building men for these times. And women are going to rely on these type of men, the men that's in the UPK, because this is what it's all about. Like, I just being in a disaster prone area, you learn. So it's like a class. It's like the Bible jumping out the pages.
Yeah.
You're seeing who's afraid. You can see it in their eyes. Who's afraid? The uncertainty of what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen? What happened yesterday? All this, it just shows you this whole society is fragile.
Yeah.
You understand? And the Lord can switch it. He can press the pause button or the reset button at any second.
Yeah.
You understand? Which is why you should build your house on a rock, like the scripture says. You should build your house on the foundation, the rock of ages. You understand? The most high power. And remember this, if I could, General.
Please.
A storm always reveals the integrity of a house.
Yes, it does.
You understand? Block it, sir.
Listen, you so right. And for sure, we finding that out now. If I could, two quick scriptures, if I could. But before I even get to the scriptures, it's amazing how the Lord could give you a drink of water and wipe out your whole city with that same water.
Yes, sir.
Like they call him the terrible power, because he can do whatever he wants. And like you said, with such a good point, that the Lord said, what is man that I should be mindful of him? You understand? Like, what is man that I should even, pay him any attention as though he's anything? The Lord will take your kingdom out with bumblebees, man. Or like he did with the locusts or whatever. Let me read, if I could, one scripture. 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, is such a good chapter, is because when they overthrew the northern kingdom, they set up in Samaria a bunch of heathens, and they put them heathens in Samaria to occupy the land. The lions came in and started killing them. So they said, send down the priests, send down some of the priests of the captives, which is our Latino brothers. And our Latino brothers went down there to show them the ways of the Most High so that they wouldn't get killed on the land. I just want to read two verses. 2 Kings 17:28. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria.
So we can read it for you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and read it, the water.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 28. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord.
They taught them heathens how they should fear the Lord. The heathens were now occupying our land. Very similar to what we're experiencing now. These heathens is in our areas, or the areas we previously occupied, that they taken over, and we showing them how things go. But here's what they went and did. Go ahead.
Howbeit, every nation made gods of their own.
Right. They was in the land. They, howbeit, set up their own gods in the land, which is why you got every heathen's god in your neighborhood and your people trying to follow them on the road to trying to become somebody else. Right. Let me tell you something, man. Blacks and Latinos and Native Indians are deathly afraid of having to be themselves.
Yes, sir.
We are deathly afraid of having to be who we actually are. Go ahead, Art.
And put them in the houses of the high places.
They put them in the houses of the high places. I mean, they set them up in power. They put these gods up above everybody, which is why we following the Arab God, the white man's God, the East Indians God. They're going to be hundreds of gods that's going to come up from all these different nations based on this, on the wars, based on the disasters, based on all of that. Go ahead. Finish.
Which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt.
So every single one of them nations went and made their own gods and pushed their gods up. What did we do? We went and worshiped their gods. Right. When we need to go back and find our God, the nigger God. That's the right. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the God we need. Yes, okay. So I just wanted to add that part in. So let's talk about the abortion before we go, right? The Supreme. Go ahead.
You wanted to address the comments in the chat room, sir?
Oh yeah. What was the comment in the chat room again? Go ahead. When have the Mexicans ever helped us fight against the white man for our freedom? 1968. Brother, you have no idea how much they helped us. First of all,
that's right.
Where does every criminal go? Every man running from the white man. Where do they all go? Anytime you trying to get away from the white man, where the hell do you go?
Right.
Do you go to Japan or Scotland? Maybe you go to Africa. Right. You don't go nowhere. You go right there to Mexico. It's in every movie, every story. Anybody trying to get away from the white man, whether they right or wrong, you running right into the land of Issachar. Number one, that's off the gate. Now, if you want to go back in time, I'm sure the Latino brothers could jump in on this, but I'll throw my 2 cents in on this. Brother, after slavery, tens of thousands of us fled down Mexico. Damn right, General. Damn right. Now, Mashak, this one might be a little tricky, but see, tell me if you could put this together for me. A short while ago, we did a story on some black people who went down to Mexico who were celebrating Juneteenth. Do you remember that?
I think so, sir.
Please tell me you can find that article. There are thousands and thousands of black people in communities in Mexico celebrating Juneteenth, and they celebrating Juneteenth because their forefathers was running from the slaughter of this so-called white man. Do you know how many Black Panthers are living in Mexico, man? Hundreds of Black Panthers are living in Mexico because they were all trying to escape this beast, man. They wasn't just in Cuba. Go ahead, Kahan.
Somebody, General, if I could, I ain't mean to cut you off, General. But like you got me going now, General.
Come on, I know this right up your alley.
For somebody to even say that, like black people act like, when have we ever honored borders as black people? Like the plantation was your border. The edge of the plantation was your border. We crossed borders. We broke the border. We was illegal. And we went into Mexico. You understand? A lot of those famous gunslingers came out of Mexico and Texas. Those black, they were living among Latino brothers, man. Because they gave them refuge. The same thing with the Native American Indians. They gave us refuge, man.
Look at that. They were. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Khan. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
They were our sanctuary cities back then.
That's what they were.
You considered sanctuary cities, man. So for you to even why would you even say something and hate a Latino brother? A person that said that nothing. I mean, I don't know who the person is, but you got to. Let me tell you something, man. We the same people, man. We are the same. Once again, we are down by law. The 12 tribes chart is true. You understand? It is true. True as the sun that rises in the morning. You understand? Salaki.
And if I could, go ahead, Ash. Go ahead.
If I could, to even make a comment like that, right? And without even digging up the records, and Latinos, right? And I speak as a brother from the Caribbean, where black people and Tainos have always intermarried each other because we saw one thing only. We saw we were the same people under the same oppression, under the same conditions. Mexican, our brothers, and Kazakh Yah could even expound on this. Even the I.S.U.P.K and Mexicans show that kind of love, show that like, yo, come into this home. This is your safe haven right here. Whereas even the Native Indians ran into Mexico. To even make a comment like that is like really telling everybody else, I'd rather deal with the white man and show him love than to show this Latino and show this Native Indian love. You know what I'm saying? Like for you to make a comment like that, you have to look at yourself deep down inside. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have a beef on the street with a Latino, but that does not mean that the Latino is your enemy.
And if I could, Ash, I know y'all want to get in, right? If I could, I know y'all want to get in, but let me tell you something now. If you measure whether or not the Latinos are your brothers by the beefs that you have with Latinos in whatever city you in, then you totally blind. Because look how many beefs and murders that we have among each tribe. You know how many black people killing black people, Latinos killing Latinos. Like you can't measure. You cannot measure our relationship with the Latinos based on gang culture. You understand? Like, I don't measure the Latinos based on what gang got beef with what gang. That's what a lot of you do, especially on the West Coast. A lot of you hate each other on both sides. You hate each other because of the gang beefs you have. And the rest of the population just follows along. You understand? When that's not the measure of whether they're your people or not. Your measure is, one, the bloodline. Two, how they have operated with you over so many years. you've been welcome among the Latinos and not among white people. Like you ain't never had the Latinos treating you completely like white people treated you. And I'm telling you from experience, I grew up in the Bronx and the Latinos, brother, treated me with nothing but love and brotherhood and sisterhood my entire life. Okay. You got to push that silliness out your mind and go by what Christ said. Christ said he came to put these two sticks together. He said, many that are of the kingdom shall be kicked out, and many shall come from far to be a part of the kingdom. That is what you better understand. And again, you got blacks that have been celebrating Juneteenth in Mexico, and they did not even know where the celebration came from. Look at this. This is Juneteenth in Mexico. The celebration of the freeing of the slaves since 1856. They've been celebrating it down there. And they did, and many of them didn't even know until it came out why they had this holiday for so long. So it have been many times where we came together. You know, when we came together really, really heavy, we came together heavy when those white supremacist gangs started coming down into LA. When they started coming down and killing blacks and Latinos in LA, blacks and Latinos came together, brother, and stopped the onslaught of them, brother. That's what happened. And but of course, Esau attempts to divide us. I'm done with it. Y'all jump in. Who's good?
I
think go ahead. Who's that? Who was up?
I was gonna say.
Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, I was gonna say we cannot forget also Black Lives Matter. Who was marching with you there? Was there mainly white people? You had a lot of Mexicans rolling with you in the Black Lives Matter march. So what are you talking about? And this is current event. This ain't the 60s. This ain't the 40s. This is now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't never forget that. So like,
we support Mexico right now.
We support
Mexico right now.
Raza.
This Mexico tequila.
There you go.
This Mexican beer. We support Mexico right now.
So like you, sir, if I may, I don't know who this brother is who said that, but this is the problem with people who try to come up against us, that they have no knowledge of history. So they're speaking out of a false history that has been given to them. This brother don't know that Mexico abolished slavery in 1829 when Vicente Guerrero, the second president of Mexico, came in and took the blacks that were coming into Mexico to escape slavery. This is the unknown story of the Underground Railroad that ran south. And what they did, they abolished slavery in all the states. There was no more slavery, and Texas was still part of Mexico. And this was one of the reasons why the Mexican Revolution was being pumped up, because Mexico would refuse to give back the slaves that America kept asking for. Because America was pushing the issue of send back those slaves, and Mexico, especially Vicente Guerrero, who just so happened to be indigenous Mexican and black. And this president refused to give back any slaves. And if you go to places like Acapulco or Guerrero or some of the other states, I mean, there's a hero in Mexico known as Yanga. Yanga was a national hero in one of their states because he fought alongside of Mexicans to stop and abolish slavery in Mexico. And these are people who don't understand their history. The problem is that these brothers need to come into this truth and learn history from us brothers who really know history. Like we dwell on this history. And you know, we celebrated the Juneteenth because a lot of Mexicans, we also black brothers, because we come from that same bloodline as they did. The Mayans were black. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the whole history of black people in Latin America. And you know, you call them black, but we call them our brown brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are.
La raza.
If I could too, so if I could just jump in real quick, and it's so heavy with all the history that coming out too. But I just want to say for this 1968, I don't know if it's a devil, if it's a brother, who the hell knows. But one thing I do know about 1968 is that you asking about when the Mexicans ever help us. When have you ever helped us? I don't know you. You're not at camp with me. You're not in here raising up Issachar.
Right.
You're not in here helping raise up Judah. You're not in here raise up Benjamin. You're not in here helping raise up Levi. You asking when have they ever helped us? When you not helping us.
Right.
If you wasn't here helping us, like this is the thing that the scriptures, if I could get one scripture, sir, please.
Come on.
Go ahead.
James 2:20. But will thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead.
Say it again.
Faith
from the top.
But will thou know, O vain man?
What kind of man?
O vain man.
What kind of man is 1968?
Vain man.
What kind of man is he?
Vain man.
Go ahead.
That faith without works is dead.
That what?
Faith without works is dead.
The reason you don't got no faith in the Issacharite brothers is because you don't got no work. You're not in here working. You're not in here working. You have faith in whatever you believe in, but you're not in here on the streets and seeing Issacharite brothers coming. Even if you might not have any education on the history of it, if you was working, if you had put your shoulder to the wheel and stood toe to toe with your brothers against our enemy, you would see Kazakh Yard. You would see Lahab. You would see the other Lahab in North Carolina. You would see that sister down there in Texas, Mariam. You would see Issachar standing strong. The other one, Ashana Pash Rib, who looked like a Judite, but she a straight Mexican. You would see, but the problem is you ain't working. And the kingdom of heaven comes not with observation. You on the sidelines asking where the players at when there's a spot for you, but you ain't want to play. You don't want to play. Stop being on the sideline asking questions about the players. Get in and play or support and shut up.
If I could, John.
Go ahead, Gahan.
I just want to back up what Captain Mashak was saying. Like, you got a lot of trolls out there that try to troll, but over here we make trolls pay tolls over here. you want to come in a chat and you want to say, what have the Latino brothers done? They've done a lot. I mean, you just look at hip hop, the influence of Latin, the Latin music. I mean, everything about, remember this, the Bible says we are the salt of the earth.
That's right.
Not only have they, the burden of proof is not on the UPK.
Right.
Like, I'm just sick of people trying to put the burden of proof. Put the burden of proof somewhere else. You got plenty of people you can blame. The Catholic Church, the Christian Church, the American government. You trying to put the blame on the UPK, the burden. You can't put the burden on the UPK. You understand? Right. Because the UPK stands alone. Commander GEN.YAHANNA said all the time, we are at the tip of the spear when it comes to our issues. Flat out. There's two sides to every story. You say, well, there's two sides to a wall. So you want to talk about what the Mexicans do and what they have done. They've done a lot for us. We are connected. The Lord said he would break down the wall of partition between us. You understand? And a lot of you are still trying to be the wall. You're going to get broken down. You understand? Because the Lord wants us to come together for these times. But the Bible says a brother is born for the time of adversity.
That's right.
We are brothers. You understand? And there's nothing you can do to change that. Salaka, sir.
And if I could real quick, and it should be obvious that anybody that's as oppressed as the Mexicans are, brother, is got to be our brothers. Because Lord knows we oppress the same exact way.
That's right.
You don't need a biblical scripture or prophecy or a history lesson to learn that. All you got to do is look at them babies in them cages and look at black people in the ghetto, and brother, they are brothers. That much know for sure.
Damn right.
So what's going on? Go ahead, Doc.
So I can't
That's exactly what I was going to say, sir. Like, just take a look at how, black people are being treated in America. We oppress. So of course, if you oppress, how the hell you going, get them brothers out of the cages? You understand?
Right.
The Mexicans oppress just like us. Like we're in the prisons. Over 2 million black men in the prisons. And then you have the Mexicans in prison cages on the border. And now you're going to question the brotherhood between us. You have to be brainwashed. You understand? And love America over your people.
That's right. That's right.
So like if I could too, gentlemen. Let me give it up for Captain I thought. If I could too. You got, and the point you brought out about the gangs, man. A lot of these gangs don't know the history. They carrying on beefs that been happening. They don't even know about, and these little street wars and things we haven't, man. Like we got to come together under one order, man. You understand? No matter what color flag that you try to, have out there in the gang world, the Bible said Joseph wore the coat of many colors.
That's right.
You understand? So we all gonna be under one family in the end, man. By force or by, can't you see catastrophe and disaster has forced us to come together?
That's right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That forces us. We in the same unemployment line. We in the same food and water line right now in New Orleans. Right now,
We
in the ghetto, in the barrio.
we experiencing the exact same racism. Sorry to cut you off, God.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes, sir.
experiencing the exact same. Ain't nobody been discriminated against, like black people, except for Mexican people, except for the Latinos. They ain't never made no other ethnic group in the world more demonized than they did blacks and Latinos. Name me one. Name me one ethnic group from anywhere in the world that America has demonized the same as blacks and Latinos. There is no other, man.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I didn't mean to cut you off, Kahan. I got 3 minutes, man. Let's do abortion. Let's do the new abortion law. What y'all got to say about that, man? The Supreme Court has spoken. They said Texas can keep the abortion law and keep it going. What y'all got to say about it, General Caps?
If I could, the Lord is definitely, along with all the earthquakes and the COVID, he's moving on them to like they're fighting themselves, and in fighting themselves, they're freeing us from the oppression.
That's right.
Yes. It's freeing us from it, and it's turning. This is Rome fighting itself. This is Greece fighting itself. This is Egypt falling apart. It's the same thing because I don't know if you wanted to read a little bit of the article.
Whatever you go, get it on, y'all.
Whoever have it. Get the article on your phone.
Because now the other states rushing to do the same thing.
And so like you say, look, it looked like it's states where majority of them might be, oppressors.
Yes,
like oppressors like trying to stop their kids from being, from
they trying to stop
abortion.
Them from, trying to stop the Edomites from killing their babies.
Yeah.
Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. Which is so righteous of the Most High. Go ahead. Go ahead, y'all.
Salaki too, and they pushing this. Remember, the report just came out not too long ago that white people, they had a minority report that white people would be the minority in some year coming up. Some year, like I want to say 2030 or something like that, or 2040. They were saying at the rate of immigration, which is like, once again, it's population control. They want to get their numbers up and keep our numbers down, but they can't do both. You understand? They can't do both and still be looked at as balanced.
That's right.
So they have to now in these southern states do it because they want their child level to increase. So like,
you right.
Come on, Consul.
Sluggy, he's gonna read the story, sir.
Go ahead.
Come on, Consul, I got it, sir.
The New York Times Supreme Court breaking silence won't block Texas abortion law. The law, which prohibits most abortions after 6 weeks and went into effect on Wednesday, was drafted by Texas lawmakers with the goal of frustrating efforts to challenge it in federal court. The Supreme Court refused just before midnight on Wednesday to block a Texas law prohibiting most abortions, less than a day after it took effect and became the most restrictive abortion measure in the nation.
And Trump said it too. He said he's gonna kill them abortion laws. Them white evangelicals, they don't want nobody killing their white babies.
That's right.
They not like we under the silly impression that they doing this because as a humanitarian thing. They could give a damn how many of our babies die. But what they don't want is their so-called pure white supremacist babies being killed in the abortion clinic, or their women being influenced to kill them babies because they know if that happens, they'll be wiped out as a people. So they want to make sure that them laws get cut off. But Brakatha Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that is making it difficult. That is making it difficult for our stupid ass leaders to convince our black women, our wonderful black women, to turn around and kill their babies on top of it. Like we kill our babies like it is normal. We doing it like it's a normal thing. That's how much we doing it in this empire. And the proof that we doing it so much is the COVID. The COVID came along, brother, and you go now to the maternity ward, and you got to put it. You got to get appointments in the maternity wards because, brother, they packed up. The waiting room is packed to the rafters with black women. They're having them babies all pregnant, knocked up, good and pregnant, full pregnancy, rested up and everything. Them babies had rest. Them women wasn't even able to go to work. You're going to have the best. You're going to have some COVID babies that's going to be outstanding.
That's right.
You have some outstanding COVID babies. Go ahead,
God, it come out strong and everything. You know,
they're gonna come out with antibodies and immune cell protection and all that, because they're gonna be strong as a bull, just like the Lord said. The Lord said, the more that they oppressed us, the more we multiply. Right. And we fill the land and we vex the heathen because we had filled the land. Who wants to get the last one in? Go ahead,
brother.
Shalom, if I could, sir. I've been following Eve's. Well, it's Eve's that I went to high school with, and they live in my neighborhood. They've been chiming in.
Bring it back to us, Mashak. Go ahead.
They've been chiming in on the abortion. Mm-hmm. So I got several Eves that's on Instagram and Facebook saying, one Eve is saying, "I'm not hearing y'all men, speaking up for us as far as abortion." And it's another Eve that posted a Tupac. She posted a Tupac lyric when Tupac said, when he said, like, woman, it's a woman's body, so she, a man can't say anything because it's a woman's body. But Eve, you are so simple, and black man, we got to stop being weak. We got to stand up, and if all of us stand up, then Eve will. If all of us take the same stance, Eve is going to fold. That's what we got to understand. Like in this world in 2021, outside of One West I.S.U.P.K, we are dedicating to Eve, and Eve is a woman, but she is a child. So we got to understand, black man, we are the leader. If I want to get, if I can get one scripture, Eve, black woman, what you got to understand is this: our oppressor wants your children dead.
Yep.
Our oppressor does not want you to multiply. Our oppressor from the beginning of time was in fear of Israelites multiplying. So if I can get Exodus 1 and 8, Exodus chapter 1, verse 8, now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Yep. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal with them wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that they, when they are fallen out of any war, they join also our enemies, and they fight against us, so get them up out of the land. And if I go down to when you get to the midwives in verse 15, Exodus chapter 1 verse 15, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one is Shipra, and the other name of the other were Pua. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Black woman, you got to understand, we are together. You're not separate. America always try to separate the black man and the black woman. You got a women's movement. You got so many separations, man. We are being killed together. We are being hated together against our oppressor. I know you have sex and you feel the need of, you have no accountability. You have no accountability. But sex makes babies. That's what we have to understand. If you ain't ready for a baby, you got to keep your legs closed. Black man, if you ain't ready to have a baby, zip it up. And guess what? The Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply." Don't be ashamed to have a baby. Our oppressor also is making us ashamed of having children when it's the most beautiful thing in the world.
That's right.
What we gotta understand is, black women, have that baby. Don't fall for American tricks, man. The white man is the oppressor is the author of confusion. God is not.
That's
right. Our oppressor wants you to have that abortion, so he does. So we do not multiply. That has always been one of his greatest fears for Black, Latino, and American Indians, for us to just have children and occupy the earth more than him.
And if I could, that big shout out to GEN.YAHANNA, man. Great job, brother. That's the man that fed us all at the Passover this year under the tutelage of General Muhammad, man. Great job, brother. The water, you really did us right, man. Yeah, man. I know it was a big bird. And let them babies live. Don't be such a selfish pig. Like let the baby live.
That's right.
You understand? You don't want the baby. Right. Get a baby to me. Call me up. Call any officer in the ISUPK and tell them I got a baby I want to turn over to General YAHANNA. That's all you got to do. Just tell General YAHANNA, come get this baby. I will come and get your baby. If you Black, Latino, Native Indian, I will come and get your baby, man. You understand? Turn that baby over to ISUPK. Let that baby breathe, man. You see the greatness coming out of brothers and sisters, man. And if I could, one other thing I wanted to say too is Esau makes it, the slave master makes it like you can't keep your baby because of economics, man.
That's right.
When this man is a beast and we are in the slave pits, but there are 1,000 ways to take care of our baby and our people. And you're about to see it. Let me tell you what you're about to see because of this COVID and people being home and brothers and sisters waking up and the Lord hitting them with the COVID and the natural disasters. All of this is opening up the minds of the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. And what you're going to see is the 12 tribes, they're going to start thinking outside the box when it comes to themselves. And those that will super excel will be the ones who will think of their own people outside the box. Those who think to themselves, how can I help my people outside the box? Those brothers and sisters are going to excel way more than anybody else. In a minute, the way you eat, the way you clothe yourself, the way you transport yourself, all of that is about to change before your eyes. And what's going to change is the vanity is all going to go away. The vanity is all going to go away. Before you know it, brother, you're going to be bringing back the black farmers. You're going to be bringing back all the black seamstresses. You're going to change your own dress code away from this dress code. You're going to put priority on what things that deserve priority.
That's right.
And you're going to take priority off of the things that don't deserve it. You're going to stop being fooled by shows like Basketball Wives and the Real Housewives of Atlanta, a bunch of broads fighting each other. You understand? And what's the one, the tattoo one, where they having tattoos and having fights in the damn tattoo parlor. You're going to turn your attention away from that kind of silliness, stupid nonsense like the conscious community and all of that. Worshiping a zillion gods, ain't doing nothing but talking. But looking at us, talking about waiting for God to break the sky. We ain't waiting for the God to break the sky. We know he breaking the sky. In the meantime, we all on the ground getting it on. I don't know if you can find this real quick, Mashak, but I wish you could find this, the Facebook post by somebody posted Captain Tawar and the sisters out feeding the people. Big shout out to Captain Tawar out the Philadelphia camp. All the camps is terrible in this area. But Captain Tawar and his rib got together with a bunch of other ribs and went out on the streets right after this storm and were feeding people. That's right. They put the video on Facebook, man. Big shout out to Captain Tawar, man. You understand? And his brothers and sisters that roll with him and did that work, and all the other camps that been doing it. Like, you about to change the world you're in. You gonna change it. You've been waiting on them to change it. They ain't changed it, but you gonna change it, man. And by you serving the Most High in Christ out and following them laws, statutes, and commandments, you gonna put a hedge around your people and separate your people from these damn heathens, man. You're gonna start to realize why it's so important that you and your people retain your culture, your 12 tribes, and that you get away from these people. You're looking at these people for prosperity. You're looking at these people for to get a leg up in life, when the Lord wants you to do the absolute opposite. He wants you to do it among your own. And after a while, everything that you need is going to be among you and your people, and you're not going to have to go to them. You're going to do it among you. If I could, 2 points before we go. I listened to a Black Panther member from the 60s in New Orleans. And he was in New Orleans talking about the disaster. And it was so heartbreaking. I wish I had the audio. I probably could get it, but we don't have time. But maybe on Monday night show, if y'all join us Monday night, I'll try to bring it out with the generals. This brother was on this tape and complaining about not getting the help that they need in New Orleans. How some people was in their garages with no fan, no ice, no heat. He was complaining out, and he was so heartbroken. And all I could think about is, here is the mighty Black Panthers, and they've been reduced to a bunch of old men begging for help. And where has the generations that come from them, where is their strength at? Well, guess what? The I.S.U.P.K, we gonna hold that strength up, man, if they try to push forward.
That's right.
Since the 50s and so forth. Like, this mission gonna go on. We're gonna carry this on, you understand, with great honorable men among Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And this, even though this has failed for every other group, even though this looks like, you know, the white man's Elon Musk and them is going to the moon, is looking like this is a futile effort to try to save Black people. It seems like you should just abandon that, saving Latino peoples, and just go for self and figure out a way to help yourself. But you know what? The scriptures say we are fools for Christ. So we're going to be damn idiots, man. And we're going to love our people and build our people and hold on to the very end, man. Christ said this: he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. And we will endure that point to the end. Was you able to find it, Mashak? If not, don't worry about it.
Nah, so we still scrolling through, sir.
Okay, don't even worry about it. With that, we over the time. Hey, I want to invite everybody to join us Monday night. We do it up super live every Monday night on this same channel at 9 p.m. I want to invite you to pay your tithes, support this through ISUPK.com. Bring it back to all of us for a second, Mashak, if you could. Okay, I want to thank all the heavy hitters that came up in here tonight, man. Captain Mashak, my young Captain Kahuntham Yard, Captain Naya Stop, I got the order wrong, Captain Ashaparium, Captain Kazak Yard up in the building. Okay, Captain Lakama Yard, Kazak Yard, over there, Paras Yard, the other warrior over there, been down for a long time in this truth over there in the UK. I'm coming to see y'all anyway. I'm going to brand your names in my brain, you know, man, when I get
damn right.
So big shout out to everybody that came through. Who's the young man with you over there?
Gapariat.
Say again?
Gapariat.
Thaparia or Kaparia?
Gaparia.
Gaparia. Big shout out to Gaparia, man, for joining us as well. Big shout out to you, Warrior. I'm Commanding General Yahanna, man. We do it up every Monday night live. I'll see y'all next time, man, live on the UPK, y'all. Shalom.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coast shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost. You see me, they like they hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand. Got this juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit.
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside where soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black block, red drums, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping, kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoking, so we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas